Imagine this. You sit down to study for 5 hours. You sacrifice games. You ignore your phone. You even drink that weird focus coffee your cousin recommended. And then the exam results come. Your friend who studied half as much scores higher than you. Painful, right? Now here's the scary part. Most students don't fail because they're dumb. They fail because they unknowingly make a few tiny mistakes every single day. Mistakes that quietly destroy concentration, kill memory, and waste hours of effort. And the worst part? Schools almost never teach you this. So in this video, we'll uncover the 5 biggest study mistakes students between 12 and 16 make and how to fix them before your next exam. And trust me, mistake number 5 is probably the reason you forget everything during tests. So watch carefully, because one of these mistakes might be secretly ruining your marks right now. Let's begin. Mistake number 1, studying without a plan. Have you ever opened your books, looked at all the chapters, and suddenly felt like your brain just left the chat? Yeah, that's because most students don't study with a system. They just sit and hope. Huge mistake. When you study randomly, your brain feels overwhelmed. And overwhelmed brains love procrastination. You tell yourself, I'll start in 5 minutes, then somehow you're watching cat videos at 1 a.m. And honestly, why are cats always screaming at cucumbers? Who discovered that? Anyway, the solution is simple. Stop focusing on hours. Start focusing on tasks. Instead of saying, I'll study science today, say, I'll finish photosynthesis diagrams and solve 10 questions. See the difference? Specific goals make your brain calmer and more focused. Top students don't magically have better brains. They just reduce confusion. And here's the important part. When you complete small goals, your brain gets a dopamine boost. That makes studying feel easier. Tiny wins create momentum. But even students with a perfect plan still make another dangerous mistake, one that destroys concentration completely. Mistake number 2, multitasking while studying. Let's be honest, you open your textbook, then check one notification, then one reel, then one meme, then suddenly you know the entire history of a random celebrity breakup, but not your history chapter. Your brain was not designed to multitask. In fact, studies show that switching between tasks lowers focus and memory. So when you study while checking your phone, your brain keeps restarting like a laggy computer. That's why 2 hours of distracted studying can feel like 20 minutes of real learning. And no, so playing study music, texting friends, eating chips, and revising math at the same time does not make you productive. It makes you a one-person circus. Here's a better strategy. Keep your phone far away. Not beside you, not face down, far away, because your brain still thinks about it when it's nearby. Try the 45 to 10 rule. Study deeply for 45 minutes. Then take a 10-minute break. No guilt, no burnout. This trains your focus like a muscle. And speaking of burnout, there's another mistake students think is hard work, but actually makes marks worse. Mistake number 3, studying for hours without breaks. Some students proudly say, I studied for 8 hours yesterday. Okay, but how much did you actually remember? Because exhausted studying is not effective studying. Your brain gets tired. And when it's tired, information stops sticking properly. It's like pouring water into a full glass. Nothing else fits. That's why breaks are powerful, not lazy. Powerful. Even professional athletes rest between training sessions. Imagine if a football player said, I'll just run for 9 hours continuously. Bro would meet God personally. Your brain needs recovery too. Take short breaks, stretch, walk, drink water, and most importantly, sleep properly. Because sleep is when your brain actually stores memories. Pulling all-nighters before exams may feel heroic, but it's usually a disaster. You become slow, stressed, and forgetful. And here's something terrifying. Sleep-deprived brains perform almost like drunk brains. Imagine failing algebra because you wanted one more chapter. Not worth it. But wait, even students who study consistently and sleep well often make one final mistake that silently destroys exam performance. And this one is sneaky. Mistake number 4, only reading, never testing yourself. This is probably the most common mistake in school. Students read the same chapter again and again, highlight everything, underline half the textbook, and think they're learning. But reading is passive. Your brain feels comfortable because the information looks familiar. But familiarity is not mastery. Real learning happens when you struggle to remember information. That's why self-testing is so powerful. Close the book and ask yourself, what do I actually remember? Solve questions, teach someone else, write answers without looking. That struggle strengthens memory. Think of it like gym training. Your muscles grow when they face resistance. Your brain works the same way. Also, can we talk about students who highlight everything? At that point, the textbook is just a yellow book. Here's a smart method. After studying a topic, spend 10 minutes recalling it from memory. No cheating. This technique alone can massively improve marks. But now, we reach the final mistake, the one that quietly destroys motivation, confidence, and consistency. And almost every student experiences it. Mistake number 5, comparing yourself to others. This mistake is dangerous because it attacks your mindset. You see someone scoring higher than you, and suddenly your brain says, I'm just not smart. Wrong. Completely wrong. Every student learns differently. Some learn fast. Some learn slowly but deeply. Comparison creates pressure. Pressure creates fear. Fear destroys performance. And social media makes it worse. You see perfect students waking up at 4 a.m., studying 12 hours, drinking green juice, solving physics while doing yoga upside down. Relax. Most success is built quietly, one chapter at a time, one habit at a time, one improvement at a time. You do not need to become perfect overnight. You just need to become slightly better every day, because consistency beats intensity, always. And remember this, your marks can improve, your habits can improve, your focus can improve, but only if you stop making these mistakes early. So let's quickly recap the 5 mistakes. Studying without a plan. Multitasking, studying without breaks. Only reading instead of testing yourself. Comparing yourself to others. Fix even 2 of these, and your next exam performance could completely change. Not because you suddenly became a genius, but because you finally started studying the right way. A few months from now, you'll either wish you started improving today, or you'll be grateful that you did. The choice is yours. So start small, start messy, but start now. And if this video helped you, comment which mistake you make the most. Also, subscribe, because the next video is about 7 scientifically proven ways to study faster. And trust me, you do not want to miss that one.